everybody, how's it going? It's me, Bandana J. It's Sunday morning and it's time for the Screaming Mimes. Okay, I just want to thank everybody yesterday at the Nerdy Flea Market at Tennessee Tech. It was a great time. I had a great time. We met a lot of cool people there and everything. I got to get one thing. Hang on. It's not the Screaming Mimes if I'm not running off trying to do something else. You know, but that's the way it goes. I tried so hard to get it done earlier, but I get sidetracked. And I just want to get one thing done over here. There you go. Now I'm good. Okay. But the point is, we met some great people. We met a great author doing books, a variety of books, and we had a great time talking with them, swapping ideas. I put them, I sent a thank you in the Facebook to them. So go ahead and enjoy and check out their site. Also, a lot of people doing crafts. And these other guys and girls who are doing all sorts of different ones, and I, met up with one group there, and they were making bracelets. I gave a shout out to them as a thank you. So check out their posts, check out the video. You'll see what we were talking about. If you're doing any sort of sales or promotional stuff, there's a lot of great information there. Like I mentioned on the video, and I said it. I'm on Venmo. And I think they offer a great thing. Especially for doing sales. If you're donating to me anything, as you know, if you're sponsoring this channel, you're getting something in return. I just don't accept money. You're getting stickers, you're getting a t-shirt, you're getting a cup, you're getting your name on a post. So there's nothing free here going on. It's not, not like other people just say, send me money. I'm not doing that. If you're supporting me, you're getting something in return. But that's another story. But we had a great time. And I just wanted to give a shout out again to that. So that way you know. Yeah. Okie dokie. Here we go. I'm going to try getting this going. It gets kind of complex. Screencast. Start now. Okay. I'm going to go here to there. To there. To there. Okay. For those who see me during the week here, let me just blow myself up just a little bit. Seeing that I did some pumpkin carving earlier this week. This one we thought came out the best. This is like what it looked like when it was done, and then when we lit it up at night, that's what it looked like. You can see these same photos when you go back to my in my page, Bandana J, the Bandana J Show. You go back and you can see all the photos, even the little sketch ones I did. I posted all of that for everybody to see. So that was that one. That was the monster face one, how it turned out. It was great. I took these pictures in that really dark room. I made sure there was no light and it was just dark, and that's how they came out. And I just had the little tea light, battery operated tea lights in it. That's the only thing in them. And that was the cat one I made, and that came out really, really good. Like I said, it was a lot of fun cutting, and that was the first one I did with everybody. Some people seen just that one. They didn't stay around to see all the other stuff I was doing. You know what I mean? There was a lot going on. The pumpkin seeds came out great. If you make them with the butter and just a touch of salt at 425 for 15 minutes, they came out great. I mean, awesome tasting pumpkin seeds. Can't knock it. You know what I mean? So, keep that in mind. Hey! That's my little voice thing. I'm trying to get a little, since no one texts me or says anything, so the hell with it. Oh, I don't even know if I got that active. Who cares? No one says nothing to me anyway. So, but if you're texting or trying to say something, oh well, you know, to hi to everybody, I don't have it turned on, so I don't know. You know what I mean? So I would have to go out of everything and back in. I ain't even going to mess with it. I don't really, I mean, if Gail sees anybody on them, she can let me know. You know what I mean? But I don't even have them turned on. So, and just enjoy. Kick back and enjoy. This is Chiller Theater. You know what I mean? This is what was when I grew up. It was like on Channel 9 late at night. It was real spooky. You seen this six finger out of the swamp, and it picked up. I'm locking up all over here for some reason. You know what I mean? That's the way the feed goes out this way, you know. But like when I'm doing these live feeds under walking, this is all live. Come on, dog, go that way. I had to let my dog down. He was causing an earth tremor here. You know, these are the pumpkins, by the way, right behind me, right there. You know what I mean? I got them right here behind me. I forgot to even mention that. They're right there behind me, you know. But, so keep that in mind, you know. But that was that. You know, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. That's a cute little one of the dog that has his, you know, they dressed him up as a spider. I think that's hysterical. Yeah, I think that one's really funny, you know. This was kind of cool. It says, are you on your way to a Halloween party too? And then the Grim Reaper goes, exactly neither of us are. So he was gonna take him before he even got to the party. You know, the Grim Reaper was gonna kill him and take him away. So I thought that was like kind of funny, you know. So if you dress as the Grim Reaper, you could say that to someone. This was funny because I thought this you could do yourself. You actually just do like this and pull your head up. So like if you're looking in a window or something, put something black from your neck down so they don't see your body. And then you could use your own hand and like lift your head up and float it around and pull it around. And it does work. It's an old classic spooky thing to do, you know, so I mean you can get a good laugh out of it. I think I have a thing. No, that's hey, you know, here's a gasp. Whoa. You can't hear that one maybe too good. You know, this I thought was funny. I think it's Marilyn Monroe. You know, she's got like Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman. She shot them and got their heads hanging up on the wall. You know, that was like kind of funny. You know. Now this is an old trick. I mean, old trick. If you're doing anything on like video and all, some of you guys might know this one. You take two pen light flashlights, you know, and you put them on like a board taped, and you aim them at eye level. You got to get it adjusted first, and you have like the rest of the screen lighting around the person dark, and you shoot the two lights at the eyes, not laser beams. They're like the old-fashioned what a doctor will use to look at your eyes, and your eyes will contract small, and that's the trick with that. So I thought with Halloween, if anybody wanted to do any spooky videos and all, you got to have your camera with the thing as it's coming up into the eyeballs, and the eyes will contract. You know what I mean? They won't dilate, they get big. They go small, and it'll give that type of effect. So that's an old-fashioned effect that you could pull off with minimal stuff. With two little flashlights, not the laser beams, you know, not no red or green, just two little pen light flashlights, you know, zoom in, put them to a board at the level of that person's eyes, and you can like just hold it there and you'll get that effect. You know what I mean? That's an old sci-fi effect type thing. You know, a lot of old movies, them old special effects you can apply to videos that you make at home. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff still works. You know, this is Lurch. He's cutting bread. You know what I mean? If I move myself out the way, you can see that. He's slicing some bread for people, so I thought that, you know, that's the typical Addams Family for you. You know. Now this is the movie The Omen with Gregory Peck, and I forget the other actor's name, but that's from the movie The Omen with Halloween coming up. You know, it's a good spooky little movie type of thing to watch. So I mean, you know, it's kind of cool. I just thought that clip of it. What's funny is there's not much special effects in it with the gore and all of that, and it holds up to today. It's just the suspense that these actors can convey to hold your attention in the movie. It's the suspense. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Now this is Vampirella Halloweening with some kids. So I would like to see that come to my door. That'd freak me out. You know, and you know, that'd be. One time I did Halloween candy. It was years ago. And I bought a whole bunch of candy. Now I don't even do it. I don't get no trick-or-treaters now, so it doesn't matter, you know. But I had a whole bunch of candy, and no one came except one little girl, and I basically dumped the whole thing in her bag and said, "Here you go." And I shut the light off, and my Halloween was over. A leaf blew, and because I sit outside doing this, you know. So that was kind of funny. Now this is 1957. You see a storefront in Myra looking at all the Halloween stuff during. Some of these little gadgets there on the left, you can still find today. I mean, a lot of this stuff is still around. A lot of it hasn't changed over the years. I mean, but it was so fun. You would see people really got into certain things, and it wasn't all that gore. You don't got to make it all gory and stuff like that. You know, so I mean, you can still have fun, you know. George stole this pic from me after I posted it. I was like, oh, look at him, you know. But that's Frankie and the monster's mate. You know, so like the monster and her mate, I should say, because he was never really Frankenstein. He's the monster, you know. So keep that in mind. But that was a great picture. I thought it was a really cool, you know, they're like Bonnie and Clyde type of thing, you know. But George, I seen you steal my picture. Now this was something with the Addams Family. I might repost this one, you know what I mean, so you can really read the whole thing. But you know, basically the story is at the end here. It's an imperfect example of indulging in an eccentric, in eccentricity, without letting it become toxic or consuming your lives. And that's basically what they're saying about them. It's a great little thing that was posted, and I tried to show, but there's a lot to read there, and I'm going to get all stumbly trying to talk, reading it. But, you know, they did their own little gothic way, but not bitter or nothing like that. And that's why the show was a hit, you know what I mean? But, you know, now it's all twisted. But I'll repost that on the Facebook, you know, and you guys can read it for yourselves, you know what I mean? And it's a great conversation starter when if you're having a party or you're around others, you know, and people bring up about the Addams Family. And it's a really true thing. So keep that one in mind. This was, I thought, kind of cool with the dog, skeleton dog, you know, chasing the skeleton man up the tree, and they got like a zip tie holding them. So you could get these things to be really original, you know, making things look kind of funny, but you know, scary at the same time in your yard. So I thought that was kind of cool. There's my girl Elvira. You know, that just says it all. You know, if you don't. Man, she just got it all, you know. You know, they said they want to have like a contest or like a replacement for her because she's, you know, getting a little older, you know what I mean. But she still got it, you know. But my thing on that is no. If you're gonna do another Elvira, no. Let someone do something else. Elvira's Elvira. Same like when Vampira was Vampira. That was her, this is Elvira, and someone got to be whoever. And if it just happens to look like or resemble Elvira, then be what it's made. It's going to, I think, take a long time to someone pick up the mantle of Elvira. You know what I mean? Same like with Vampira. it took a long time for Elvira, and Vampira sued Elvira because they said they look so much alike. Kind of yes, kind of no, but I think, no. Someone gotta, if they're gonna bring up the thing, they gotta come up the ranks themselves. I mean, that's just my opinion with it. This was a funny little thing. If you got some old paper bag lunch bags at home, you put one, cut the other one into strips, kind of, so look, and you put one inside the other. Then just take a stick to the top and put a little black twist tie, and you have something that looks like a broom, but you fill it up with candy. So if you just have a couple of trick-or-treaters or special family members, this makes a nice little thing for that. And you can have some fun with it. You know what I mean? So you can have some fun doing that. And this is a little squirrel. I just thought that was my cute moment, where the little squirrel is next to the little pumpkin. Then this is, I thought was funny, like the squirrel with the head in the pumpkin. Some people would make these little things and they hang them. They hang them up, and they cut the hole in the bottom, and they'll put it or something there and try to get this up, and it makes it look in caricature. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. I like the way the pumpkin was carved. This was a pumpkin I thought about using. It was supposed to make like a pig, but I didn't go with it. But I might get one just to try that. I'm curious how that mouth will look. Like the holes in that, you've seen me do it in this one down here. I just took the knife and twisted it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really disgusted this year with a lot of people doing pumpkins. They're cutting the bottoms and all. This is not pumpkins. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it point blank. This is not pumpkins. If you're cutting the bottom of your pumpkin to make a pumpkin, to put it over a can, how are you picking it up with the light? You want a handle? It's not a handle. That's going to rot out way before anything else, and it's going to fall. You cut the top, put the light inside the pumpkin. You do it this way, folks. You cut the top. Cut the top. It's that simple. This thing with the bottom cutting and using. I watched Fox News this morning, and I'm telling you, Fox News and me have split the blanket. That's Navajo. That we're done. We're no longer. We're going our separate ways. We split the blanket. That means, and it's crazy. They're using power tools and all this. This is not carving a pumpkin, people. Get the knife out. Cut the top. Cut the, you could draw on it to make it what you want. Use the knife to cut it. It's a pumpkin. God, it's not thick-skinned. You're not carving. You're using a power drill with an auger bit to drill a pumpkin. Oh, believe me, someone's going to get seriously hurt. It's too much power to use on a pumpkin. Going back to the Screaming Mimes, but, get a knife out, man. I showed a video that you could do it so simple. They're so simple, But the rural family prepared for a hunting season. He has to ride on everything, cow and all this. Yes, I know this ain't a Halloween one, but kind of, yeah. Because I didn't post it on here, but on my personal page, my dogs found a bone, a leg bone of something. We had the cops come and all that to identify it. They think it's a coyote. And I got to thinking about it after the cops said, well, look at it and look at your dog's leg. And my dog leg really don't look nothing like that. It looks like a werewolf leg. I mean, I'm serious. The way it is with the hip bone and that, werewolves walk like that. I've seen Lon Chaney walk like a werewolf. It looks like a werewolf bone. So there's wolves out there. Jake, you with us? Oh, he's napping over there. I thought the werewolves got him for a minute. But it looks like a werewolf's leg. But you do have to do this because you get some of these guys that hunt that would accidentally shoot a cow and all that. you know, come on, guys. If you hunt, then be responsible. Please be. I get very paranoid with hunters. Some hunt good, some don't. You know, hit what the hell you aiming at. If you can't, one shot, one kill. You can't kill that deer with one shot. Don't shoot. You know, you shouldn't have to shoot it 2 or 3 times, especially more than. I'll give you 2 maybe, but 3 or more, no. You shouldn't be hunting because it's not merciful on the animal you're hunting, and it's just reckless. You know what I mean? And that's how I see it. You know, and I believe in hunting, but let's be rational, people, please. Okay, as we go on. This is a great trick to pull on your friends for Halloween. You know, if I don't know if you've ever did this with a 9-volt battery, just let them touch the 9-volt battery to the tip of your tongue, and it'll give you a shock. You can decorate the battery as something else and say, "Here, put your tongue to this," and you'll see them go crazy. It's harmful. It's not going to hurt no one's. You know, it'll give them a little jolt. I pulled it on my wife when we were dating, and she went nuts on me. You know what I mean? I'm surprised she even stood around me after that. But she walked around for days bitching at me that I did this to her. And I still try to pull the joke on her all the time. You know? It's funny to hell to pull us, especially if they never did it before. And believe me, they will remember it forever. But, you know, that's how we used to test if a 9-volt battery was still good. You would just tap it to your tongue, and if you got a jolt, it was good. If you didn't get no jolt, it was dead. I mean, that's how we knew. We didn't cry about it. Anyway, now this is an old picture of my pumpkins. I did this a few years ago. That was a bat one I carved, a bat design I carved in it, and that was a kind of like that smiley face one here I carved in it. And then I did that cat face on one, you know, and then that's the cat face that I did a while back. I just showed you. That's the way it came out, like that. But see, Gail asked me to do another cat face, and that was the one I got behind me, you know. And that was that smiley face lit up, and that was the bat. I should have made the wings bigger, it would have looked better, you know, but it came out kind of okay, you know, and that was all 3 of them put together in the dark, and that was in the front yard in the dark, how they looked, you know. I thought this was funny, the pumpkin getting sick, you know, with the pulp coming out the mouth. I bet that looked real good once it was lit up, you know, minus the stuff in its mouth. You know, maybe make the mouth a little bit smaller, but that would look good. The eyes look great in that, and the nose and all. That would look really good lit up. Then this is, you know, you kind of got the classic, you know, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Phantom, and the monster's mate, you know, dressed as Kiss, you know, and that's just too cool. Then it says, if you walked to a park and saw this, what would you do? I would probably run, you know. Now, I seen a big Firebird type thing when I lived on this other side of town near in Rickman in Putnam County, Rickman and Albany County, and on the Cookeville-Putnam County border. There was a big bird that it wasn't a vulture, man. No way, it was not that. And it was in the woods, and I walked up on it, and I scared it, and it flew out the trees, and it looked like a big hawk pterodactyl type shit. I kid you not. And then they said, I heard there was firebirds around, you know, and these were these big birds. So it might have been that. I don't know. Then Gail seen a real big bird, almost the size of a man, in a field one day, and this was in the summer. It wasn't no Halloween thing or nothing like that. And yeah, there's some big birds. So if I saw this hanging in the tree, I'll be damn running, you know. Now this I thought was cool for people who didn't have much, couldn't maybe get a pumpkin or whatever. Save your milk jugs and get a black magic marker and draw faces on them like that. Then you can just knock a hole in the bottom of the milk jugs and run some Christmas lights through them, you know. I guess you could actually use the multicolored or the clear like that, and just light them up, put them in a row, and look very decorative. So if you're having a party, you can line your drive with these little ghostly faces, kind of, you know. Then this is an interesting way to cut the back of a pumpkin. Like I said, you would never see me cutting the bottom of a pumpkin. That to me, if you're doing it, fine. I don't care. But to me, that's totally ridiculous, cutting the bottom of a pumpkin. It serves no purpose whatsoever in moving the pumpkin or anything, because you got the hand. You're gonna have to damn pick it up from the bottom anyway, But this is you cut the circle almost, then go down the sides, and then you can reach in easier to light a candle in it. Now, the way we used to do it, we would light the candle through the mouth. Use a longer stick or something. But see, we had books of matches back when I lived in the real world. You got a book of matches, so you would light it, then leave the match in it. The match burnt out anyway. So we would just draw. See, you can't even find a book of matches now, you know what I mean? But we use matches, you know what I mean? It was simple. I'm maybe back up east they still got people who print books of matches, but down here you don't see them at all. And they were great advertisement things. They would have the logo of places. You would open them up. There would be something inside, and you don't see none of that no more. Books of matches. So I don't know. Go figure. You know what I mean? I lived in the real worlds where you had these things, and supposedly somebody got burnt with a match or some shit. It's like, God, we used to hold the matches, and you could light a match out of a book of matches with one hand. You know what I mean? And I don't know. And that was cool. And now here was a funny little thing you use a paper bag for. Let me move that over and down and around. You take the paper bag, cut the top into strips, twist it down. You know what I mean? Twist it down, 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 and then take a few of each one and twist it. And what you got at the end is like a spooky little tree. You know what I mean? Or just a tree without no leaves. So that's a cool little craft. You can go back and watch this again and follow along with the pictures. Or I might even post that one too. You know what I mean? I think I'll post that one too a little later today. Just of the tree. And you can see the tree then. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be kind of cool. So I'm going to probably do that one too. I'll post that and the other one. Maybe even the back of the pumpkin one. You know what I mean? So, now I thought this was cool. You just take a pallet. So if people like to do stuff with pallets, I thought this was really cool, super easy. You can maybe even, instead of you using stones or on the outside, you can maybe use other pieces of wood or some bags or something like that, or something that look like it's like enclosed in, you know what I mean? But you can get these hands at any of the Halloween stores right now and the chains, and you can make like this dungeon-y thing with things coming out of the ground, you know what I mean? So I thought that was really, really cool, super easy to do, and a fun thing to have in your yard. I thought that was a great little thing. Then it's the Bat Cat. I am the night, fear me. It's the little black Bat Cat, with the fangs. He's kind of fun. He's always been. Then I always say this is my friend Rose flying through the night. You know what I mean? It might be her. I don't know who the hell it is. But the nights are coming and you're gonna get a witch flying across. Let's hope they're naked. It makes it worthwhile as the witches fly. There was a cool looking witch I saw yesterday. She was sewing bags. You know what I mean? They sewed bags, and her friend made some little sculpted things. And she was a cool looking little witch. She had the hat and all that stuff. So she was cool. They had a site, but I could never find it. You know what I mean? They were kind of new at it, they said. But they did good. So if they see this, you guys as the witch and the witch's helper person making the stone things. They were cool. She was cool with the little bags. If you watch the video of the nerdy flea market, you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, she sewed some bags together and stuff like that. So she was cool. Then this was cool. This is really super easy again to make too. You go to basically any Dollar General or Dollar Tree, they sell these little, probably even at the Walmart, they sell those little fake teeth. We used to buy them by the millions back when I was young. Just get a donut, you don't even have to probably put the eyes in it, which would be even funnier. You know, just put it that they got teeth, like the donut's going to bite your back. But you can get these little eye things. They sell all this in the cake section, you know what I mean, at any grocery store. So you can put two eyes and the teeth, even if you don't put the blood or the vampire hairdo, you know, the devil's lock. You know, that's what that would be called back when my days, they would comb their hair like that and pull it down. We called it a devil's lock, you know. But even if you didn't do that, just put the two eyes and the mouth, that'd be great. Bring a box of donuts to work Monday and do that, and believe me, you will be a hit. You will be a hit. You know, like I said, you don't even have to do all the devil's lock. Just you can get the little eye things and pop them on and put the mouth thing in the middle. You'll be a hit. You will be the talk of the week and for the whole rest of the year. You know, people will always remember that. Then it says, our hearts are wild, that's why our ribs are caged. That's Morticia Adams for you. You know, she always had the classic lines, you know. But that might be true, you know. And that's Dr. Pretorius, you know, in The Bride of Frankenstein. And I found out something yesterday while watching Svengoolie. I was watching this. And you could see it here in the middle between the ballerina and the devil one. There's something on a chair that was actually it was an actor, and he was posing as a baby as the little miniature things. The scene was cut showing that, but he's in this scene, and you see the back of it when he's walking around, Dr. Pretorius. But the actor was he was known as a harmonicat. He was a short actor, and he played in a million things, this little midget actor guy. You know, from Wizard of Oz all the way up to Tough Guys with Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster. They were in that. You know, he played in a million things. He's a short, like, midget actor. And he played in a lot of the craft morning TV shows, but that's him and that one in the middle next to the ballerina, you know, just to the left of the ballerina. And but like I said, the scene was cut, he said, and it was him in a chair, like in a high chair, like a baby. But I guess it was too shocking, because he made these miniature things and he made a miniature baby, you know. But Dr. Pretorius was kind of crazy, you know, and the monster got even with him. We'll just say it like that. I don't want to be a spoiler. If you never saw The Bride of Frankenstein, get the movie, watch it. But that was a scene that was that was deleted. But you see all these other characters mentioned, but except that one, you know, it's kind of cool. See, you learn things, you know, always be out to learn stuff. This was, I thought, cool. I'm going to try doing this next time in the summer. You know, I'm going to take watermelons and cut them in half and hang them, you know, and I don't get no cheese. Oh, yeah, I'll take it now. I got a piece of cheese Gail cut for me, so I'm going to eat that. She's cooking dinner, and I can smell it, you know. Well, if we're going to make it now to eat it later. It's kind of a chili. You know what I mean? So thank you. You know, but
you had yours, Bucky.
Yeah, it's mine. You ain't getting mine. But I'm gonna do that. Excuse me, with my mouth full while talking. You people can live with it. But I'm gonna do that in the summer and scare people. It's just watermelons hanging, and watermelons cut out of the rind, laying there and cut up some and say veggie slaughterhouse. You could probably do this now if you could find some watermelons. This was cool. This is another fun thing to bring to work, or if you're having a party. Even the donut things, if you're having a party, that's a great thing for that. Just get the little oranges, the little Valencia oranges, peel them, and that could be anything. A piece of celery, just cut up, some sort of green, stick it in the middle. It makes it look like a stem. Instant pumpkin, instant ghost. Just take a banana, cut them in half, or you're gonna get two out of every banana, and just put the two little eyes. You could buy those little chocolate chips for them, or like I said, they sell these eye things in the baking section. Just put the eyes, you know what I mean? And you got an instant ghost. It's fun little stuff. Everybody will enjoy it, and it's a good, healthy treat. So, I mean, hey, it's a win-win. So keep that in mind. It's a simple little thing. That's made from pancakes. They made the pancake, for one, and then just took a cookie cutter and knocked it out. That's what cookie cutters are for. Not for making pumpkins. You don't take a cookie cutter and try to punch it out to make eyes and all this. You can, but that's kind of hard. You're going to get hurt doing that because, A, it's going to slide. A lot of cookie cutters are not that sharp or durable to knock through something harder as the rind of a pumpkin. Even though a pumpkin's rind is not that hard, but it's not made for that. Plastic ones will break, you got to be careful with, and metal ones could slip and cut you. So be careful using some of these things they're showing on TV. They're not that safe. I mean, I don't know. Not to me, they're not. I wouldn't do it. And then this is, once again, they're taking the pancake batter thing, they're making it in the cookie cutter, and then making their pancake. That's another way of doing it. So you can either cut it out of the pancake or make the pancake in the whole cookie cutter. But make sure it cooks through, and watch out you don't burn them, because it's going to be kind of thick. If you're making them that thick, that's kind of rough to make, to try to cook it all the way through. So be careful with that. Make sure that you cook it. My best advice is to make the pancake big, take the cookie cutter and punch it out. You'll have a good tasting breakfast. Now, this is what I use a cookie cutter for. Actually, I use a shot glass, because that's the way I did it. They used a ghost cookie cutter and cut out the bread, the middle of the bread, and they cooked the egg inside it. So, now, what I was always taught they were called, the person who showed me that was called gas house eggs. Now, a lot of people call it egg in a nest, egg in a basket, egg in a bread. That's fine. Whatever the hell you want to call it. But they took the ghost cutter, cut it out, cooked the egg in it, turned it over, and then put, I guess, the two little hot pepper things on it, or 2 dabs of hot sauce or something on it, and made it look like eyes. But it's a fun thing. I've used it where I just take a round cookie cutter or a bat one and done that. I have done that in the breads with making kind of spooky ones, or even ones for kids with cats and dogs that didn't want to eat breakfast. I showed them to take the cookie cutter, cut out the bread with the pattern of cat, dog, elephant, whatever the hell it was, and then put the egg in it like that and cook it, and you get the same effect. It's fun looking, and people enjoy it. So keep that in mind. So that's another fun food one. Then now remember, it's getting cool out. I'm just a little heavier shirt. It was kind of cool this morning. It said if you're cold, they're cold, invite them inside. Well, that's also the monsters, but also your pets. So if you got pets and they're outside, it's getting cold, remember to bring them in. You know what I mean? I bring my guys in, and then it turned warm here the last couple of days, so now they're all running around again. But we were bringing in, getting them trained to come back in. Then is it if you're counting crows, and this is with Halloween, everybody gets into the crows. So 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy. So that's if you've seen it. 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for the scarlet, never to be told. For the secret, never to be told. 8 for a wish, 9 for a kiss, 10 for a time of joyful bliss. So that's with you count crows on when you see them on the road, if you're passing them. Try to remember this, and it's fun. It's an old wives' tale, whatever you want to call it. Now here we do get rolls of bales of hay, and this would be really funny. I haven't seen no one do this around here yet. Where you put the shoes in it, and it looks like a girl and a guy rolled up in a bale of hay, or still in the bale of hay making whoopee, So that's like classic. But I never see no one do it here. Stick the boots in the hay. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe they didn't think of it. But I've seen this a few times, and I think it's really funny. Then this is if you're going to dress as a ghoulish woman, be cool. I don't like to call it revenge. Returning the favor sounds much easier, So that's like, as you're doing a witch, getting character or a monster woman thing, getting character, makes it more fun. In case of zombies, use a bow. Shotguns attract zombies. Bows are quiet. That's true. That's the poachers know this one. Don't use a shotgun. Use a bow. They don't know you're hunting out of season, so bows are quiet. Poof. That's all you hear. Bow is very quiet. This going back to the one we saw earlier with the dog chasing the skeleton up the tree. This is just dog skeleton toy ones you could buy, with a couple of skeletons holding them on a leash. They look like dog walkers. So that's a fun thing. Like I said, there's a lot of fun stuff you could do for your yard. Not everything has to be spooky, people. This is great for gas tanks. I got a couple of old tanks around. I thought about maybe doing the rusted up white ones. I ain't going to go probably painting them all up, but putting a smiley space over there that's on the right and the top left, I thought those would be cool for the tanks I have. Herman Munster, that's when he was in the Dragula, but I don't think he ever sat in it in the TV show. This is a promo picture, of him in the Dragula, saying peace. That was cool. That was one of the classic cars ever made. Now this is a flashback when I was small. This I'm not in this. I seen this online, but with the grammar school kids all dressed up for Halloween. This is how it was when I went to school. This is how it looked. Everybody wore these plastic masks, or dressed up as something. You know what I mean? So this brings back a lot of memories. Then this is just good when you're drinking. So as you haven't guessed though, remember vodka has never been recalled for E. coli. No, it's made of potatoes, and it'll basically kill anything you got in you. Then here, if you ever been mooned, pass it on. You could probably find this one and post it in your window for the trick-or-treaters, you know what I mean? And that's the adults will get a kick out of it, so keep that one in mind. Whoop, there you go. Yeah, you go. You got mooned a little bit better, but bam. I need my sound effects for that one then. There you go. And there you got the guy who made the classic stop motion. This is how they did it back then, with the Halloween theme. That's Mighty Joe Young getting lassoed by the cowboys, and he fights them off. Great scene, and I love seeing how they did all this stop motion. It's a dying art. They don't do much of that now. It's all computer graphics, but this was the stuff, and it was, and they did their own mannerisms in it, and that's what made it classic. Like them scratching their head, smiling, doing an itch. It was the mannerisms that sold it, you know. And this is just with winter and fall coming, and we heard it was the first snows somewhere in Montana or somewhere. Who remembers walking to school no matter what the weather was? Yes, I walked through a lot of snow where I'm from in New Jersey. We hiked it to school. Not like now. Well, down here where I'm at, yeah, it's kind of dangerous for the school buses, so they cancel school under the first snowflake that hits the ground. Because the roads do get treacherous here. I don't even go to work when I did work. When it got bad, I did not go. I was not risking my vehicle or my life on any roads that weren't worth it. I don't care. You might be able to get to the main roads and they're clear, but between here and that main road, no. Especially where I'm at now, these twists and curves, you'll be dead. You're going to die. You know, so it's not worth it. Now here was a classic one I saw for you Superman friends of the old Steve Reeves movie. They took this clear plastic and put black around it, you know what I mean? And they looked like they were in that plastic, you know, in that flying album cover, you know, in space when they were put in the Phantom Zone, you know. So that was a great idea for that, you know, doing the Phantom Zone for that old movie like that. Now this was good just, well, because if you like cars, and we're just going to say that, if you like cars. Yeah, go get the books I told you about in the thing, you know. Yeah, that'll give you a lesson. But that's for you car lovers out there. Then this I thought you could scare your friends with if you're having a grill out during Halloween. Just take a rake and put a bunch of hot dogs on it, especially if you have a dog. Say, yeah, I cleaned the yard up and I was going to do this. You'll see them run for the hills. You hear everybody gasping for air. So, and if you do this, don't, you know, unless you got a rake strictly you use for that, don't, you know, because you're going to get people sick, you know. But just to scare the hell out of people while you're having around for Halloween, this is a real funny thing to do. It's really funny, you know. This is a classic old Halloween decoration. It was made out of these little bits and pieces of plastic. Now they're worth a fortune. I mean, people pay high dollar to get them. Back when I was small, they were a dime a dozen. I mean, God, people threw them away, you know. But they were made out of plastic, melted plastic all together, bits and pieces. You would have Christmas ones like that, Easter ones, 4th of July ones, St. Patrick's Day ones, not too much Columbus Day, but Halloween ones, Thanksgiving ones, the turkeys and all. I mean, you don't see much of that now. I mean, but the ones that are out there, the older they are, so those that go flea marketing and all that, you find them. If you can get them cheap, price them, because you'll get people that pay you pretty decent money for them. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. The classic pumpkins, these been around since the dawn of time, you know, and I buy them now just to help me around the house. I'll put stuff in them and I'll use them till they break. And then the first time I was with this one girl, she cut out the back and hung it on the light, the porch light. And I never seen that done before. She said, yeah, that's what we use them for. They cut out the back, put them on the porch light, and people knew to come there for trick-or-treating. You know, so those have a million purposes other than Halloween. Then this was great because I just thought, you know, I think about things. You know, I got cats and it says like Hercules wrestling a lion as I giving cat a medicine. Yeah, if you ever had to give a cat a pill or something like that from a vet, yeah, you do all these maneuvers, yeah. You know, this was a great one I thought for Jabba the Hutt and Princess Leia. I mean, it's a kind of do-it-yourself photo there. I don't know who these people are, but he put a sleeping bag and he looked like Jabba the Hutt, and then she just basically put on a bikini and looked like Princess Leia. You know, so I thought that was really cool. I thought, you don't got to make it look fancy, people. Just do what's in your heart. Now, this is another little great one. If you're having a get-together with people, take an Oreo, take it in half. You're going to need to use basically more of the white-sided ones. You know, you put him as eyes, take the part that didn't get any white, break that in half, and you make the eyebrows. And just get a couple of M&Ms, the black ones, you can, you know, and then the color ones were beef. Put it on a cupcake that has frosting on it, and it'll all stick together. And as you can see, it's a great looking thing. And that's a great thing to bring to work or at a party. People will remember that. It's the simple things in life people remember. You know, like you're going to remember me wearing this spider web bandana. People ask me, why am I called Bandana J? Duh, I wear bandanas all the time, and people know me by that. I'm the original Bandana J. Boom. Like, you know, Rob Van Dam, Bandana J. Been wearing these for years. Everybody goes, you know Jay? Yeah, Bandana J. Bam, that's me. I've been called everything under the sun. You know, Rambo and all that. Then they're like, oh yeah, you're Bandana J. I'm like, yes. So I don't got to change my name. I don't got to do nothing. I walk the streets, people point at me and say, Bandana J. And yes, that's me. I could walk down the streets without the bandana, and I can scare the hell out of people, because people know I speak up my mind. So don't worry about it. I'm Bandana J. Just remember that. And here's another fun one. I left the thing on there, so if you want to go look them up even more. You can get these little sprinkles. You know, we call them sprinkles. Other people call them jimmies or whatever, but we call them sprinkles. You take the sprinkles, put a little chocolate frosting around the top of a donut hole, you know, just a little bit of frosting so they stick. You can get all different type of ones, but get the ones that look like leaves if you can, and stick a little pretzel stick in it, and you have an acorn. That's another little fun thing to have for your guests to come over and everything else. So that's another fun thing. You know, hey Gail, I'm talking. But that's another fun thing. You know, then, you know, psychotic. You know, when you are sarcastic, you are so sarcastic, people don't know whether you're joking or you're just fucking psychotic. You know, sarcastic. You know, so it's like two words jabbed into one. That's another Morticia special. You know what I mean? And then we have one more. Oh, these are the lights. You know, I used to make some of these back in the days, you know, with Gail. Not a Halloween one, but we put lights in bottles. And you could do this, you know what I mean? This is a simple thing to do. And then you could maybe get stickers to put on the outside and all that to make these funny faces and all of that. Sell things in the hardware store at the Lowe's or Home Depot or Rickles. You could put the lights down through the top and all that with switches. The way I did them was you get a ceramic hole cutter bit for your drill. It'd be round with like not diamonds, but kind of like diamond edged, and they would cut holes in ceramic tile. You use the same thing to cut the holes in the bottom of a bottle, but make sure that you got water hitting the bottle to keeping it cool and as you're doing it. What you want to try to do is get a piece of wood, the wood on top of the bottle, cutting the glass, and it'll